Sauce Gribiche. I love this sauce. It's a cold French egg sauce that just about goes with anything. Today I'm going to serve it with the asparagus, perfect combination. And you can serve it with boiled potatoes, boiled meats, ham, just about anything. It's a really great sauce to have in your repertoire. Okay, the ingredients. Parsley, chives, tarragon, it's what the French call fines herbes. This is my secret weapon. I know, don't freak out. Everyone, oh my God, anchovies, anchovies. You have Caesar salad, right? Well, Caesar salad, real Caesar salad has anchovies, so get over it. This adds a little je ne sais quoi, a little bit of, just add some umami flavor, right? I love using anchovies. Obviously eggs, did I say a shallot? And some shallot. Then cornichon, mustard, and capers, and that's it. I'm going to show you a great way to dice the eggs. That's just like the quickest, and you can also do it with an avocado. Okay, we're going to boil the eggs. Now, there's all kinds of chatter and stuff on the internet about the best way to cook hard-boiled eggs so they peel easy, etc. This is, without a doubt, the simplest. I've had my friends do multiple tests on different methods and poking it with a pin and start steaming or cooking them from cold water and bringing them up, or turn the water off and set them aside. Boiling water, 11 minutes, right in the ice bath, basta, that's it. And then I'll show you a couple tricks so the eggshells don't stick. So I'm going to go over here and put them in the boiling water. You want to put them in gently, obviously, so you don't crack the egg. I want to make sure the coolness of the eggs are going to bring down the water boil a bit. So I'm going to sit here for a minute until I get the water back up to a hard simmer. I'm going to keep it at a hard simmer, and then I'm going to cook it for 11 minutes. So let's start with the herbs. Get those chopped up. I'm going to wash these, trim, give it a haircut. That should be enough. So I'm using Italian parsley. It has the most flavor, you know, that curly stuff. You want to stay away from that. They shouldn't even allow that to be sold, frankly. Italian flat leaf parsley is what you want to always use in cooking. A lot more flavor. And by the way, there's a lot of chefs that use parsley for color. Never. You always use it for flavor. At least I do. I never do anything for color. I mean, you want to make beautiful looking food, but I never add anything for color. It always has a purpose on the plate, meaning it always has a purpose with flavor. Okay. Egg time. Okay, 11 minutes, and we're going to put them right into an ice bath. Now, what's real important is that these cool off completely. Otherwise, the eggshell well sticks. Most people, they don't let the egg cool enough. It has to go 50, even 30 minutes. Let it stay in that ice water. It can go overnight and it will even peel better. So the key factor here is let it get very cold. Then your eggshells will come off nice and easy. All right, let's slice the chives. You notice I didn't say chop the chives. Chopping is like this, slicing is like this. Why? If you chop the chives, what happens is you break the cell membranes and the water leaches out, and they get kind of slimy and they go funky really quick. So what you want to do is a slicing motion. I'm going to get nice straight. So you can either go forward, whatever you're comfortable with, or you can come backwards like this. And you're slicing the chives, and you can see that they're nice and dry, and will also keep them really good. So that's forward motion, and this is a backward motion. Okay, so it's about 2 tablespoons of chives for the recipe. Next up will be tarragon. I'm going to show you a little trick with tarragon that even a lot of chefs don't really do. So this is tarragon. You know, it has that licorice flavor, and it's one of my favorite herbs. And we're going to just use the leaves. The stems are a little chewy, and they're not. You don't want that texture in the dressing. So if you just chop the tarragon, even if you slice the tarragon, it'll turn kind of dark and black. So I'm going to blanch it 15-20 seconds in boiling water. And what this does is it sets the chlorophyll, and then no matter what you do with the tarragon, be it Béarnaise sauce, Gribiche sauce, it'll stay nice and green and not turn kind of brown. Now you need a lot more than you think, because once you blanch it, it really shrinks it down. All right, let's blanch the tarragon. Boiling water, a little bit of salt, that's it. You want to make sure you submerge it because a lot of it will float on top if you don't kind of get it going in the beginning. I'm just going to blanch that for about 20 seconds. Cool it off in the ice water bath that the eggs are in. All right, in 20 seconds, I'm going to shock it to preserve the chlorophyll. All right, this is nice and cool. I'm just going to squeeze out the excess water. Go over to the chopping board, and we are going to chop this one up. All right, I am going to put this in a paper towel to get all the excess moisture out. There's still quite a bit in there. See how bright green that is? And it'll stay like that, and it still has a lot of flavor. So you're not really losing the flavor by blanching it. Sometimes, you know, with basil, sometimes you lose. You do lose a little bit of flavor, maybe a little too much with basil, but tarragon is such a pronounced flavor, it really doesn't really affect it so much. And a little bit of it goes a long way. It's a very powerful herb, taste-wise. All right, the shallot, I am going to peel it and brunoise it. Now, a shallot is in the onion family, and it's a bit sweeter, milder. Used a lot in French cooking. And I am just going to brunoise, so we're going to make cuts this way, and up here, and come down, and then come across. This too, as I mentioned with the chives, we want to slice, not chop, because the same thing happens with the shallot or onion, is that the membranes break and the cells break, and then water releases and they get funky and they don't stay really bright tasting, and they get a little slimy. Okay, the shallot. By the way, I only use this sponge for food, so it's only a food sponge. This is, I have vinegar, salt, and lemon peel that I boil together with baking soda, and it's my disinfectant. It kills about 99%, 90% of germs, so I spritz it with this and the board as well, and this way it kills most bacteria. Okay, so we'll put this aside. Next up, I know your favorite ingredient, anchovies. So when I use meat or fish, or especially anchovies, I like to use a separate board, plastic board, so I can put this in a dishwasher and make sure it gets really, really sanitized, because the dishwasher gets very hot and it really just kills any bacteria that may be present. Okay, so these are anchovies that are packed in olive oil, and you're really not gonna, I mean, the anchovies and eggs go really well together. I mean, I put anchovies in things that you wouldn't expect, like a lamb. It goes good with lamb, like a lamb stew, or a bagna sauce, one of my favorite sauces, which is a classic Italian sauce made with butter, anchovies, and garlic and olive oil, and it's used for dipping vegetable stuff. But I use it for a sauce, and I skip the butter and I just keep it a little more healthy with olive oil. And but anchovies is the key component. See? Oh man, not bad. Actually, it's very good. Excellent. I'm just gonna dice these up a little bit. We got a little too much here. Get some smaller dishes here. The eggs. Now, there's different techniques to do this too. There's like crack and roll, and I find that might damage the egg too much, so kind of start down at the base, start here. Now you can do it under running water, but I don't want to turn around and have my back towards you. That's kind of rude, right? But I'll just rinse it off in the water like that to get any small excess shell out, if necessary. But you see how easy this is peeling? So forget all the other, I'm telling you, this is the best way. And you just time it. If you want soft-boiled eggs for 4 or 5 minutes, you can just time it. But these are just firm eggs. These are just hard-boiled. They're not super cooked. So the eggs, I'm just dipping in water. You can do it under running water. Some recipes call for that, but I just find, listen, you have your water right here. It's cold. You rinse it off. The water's not penetrating the egg, so why go through that extra step, right? Okay, are we ready to assemble? I think so. The moment you've been waiting for. And me too. There are 2 ways to do this sauce, and it's a matter of preference, stylistic, if you will. The classic way, if you look in a lot of French cookbooks, is you separate the egg yolk and the white and put the egg yolk in the bowl and put the vinegar and olive oil and kind of make a paste. And then you can add your olive oil, more olive oil, and it becomes an emulsion. So you have, it's 2 different textures. It's like a yellowy, kind of creamy base, and then you chop your egg yolks up and fold everything in. I skip all that because I like mine a little chunky, and I don't mind mine a little broken either, but I'm going to show you, I'm still going to get emulsification out of it. But if it separates because I didn't make that emulsion with just the yolk, it's okay, because it's all the flavors are the same, and you're going to see that it's so easy. All right, I'm going to add the mustard to the bowl. I'm going to get my emulsification with the mustard and the oil. Capers. Oh, I almost forgot cornichons. This is optional. You don't really have to have cornichons. You need to have either capers or cornichons. I like the flavor of cornichons, so I like to add both. But you definitely can just have one or the other, but definitely have one or the other. So I'm going to add some cornichons. Cornichons are French little baby pickles that are used a lot in charcuterie and sauce remoulade and sauce Marie and different cold sauces in French cuisine. Okay, so cornichon. I will add my anchovies. Just don't tell anybody. Just don't tell anybody you put anchovies in. They'll never know. Shallot. And I'll put the herbs in at the end. So I am going to whisk this up a little bit. And then I'm going to add sherry vinegar. Most recipes call for red wine vinegar. I love sherry vinegar. I can never get the top off. By the way, the recipe is at tbhomekitchen.com. You can grab the recipe. I'm actually going to post the recipe in this video too. So, all right, I have the mustard. I add the vinegar, and I'm going to add the oil now. And this is going to cause the emulsification. And again, I don't care if it separates a little bit, but if you really wanted it to be a very smooth sauce, you'd do the yolk only. But it's just an extra step that's not necessary. It doesn't add anything to the dish. Here is the tip of the day. Eggs. Push it right through. Look at that. No dicing, no messing up your... That's it. Let's add the herbs. That'll be enough. Parsley. And the tarragon. And let's just mix this up. Okay, I'm going to add a little more oil. I mean, the rest, I'm not following a recipe because at home I don't follow recipes. Don't tell anybody. But I just go by feel touch, and I've been doing this so long that I really don't need to follow recipes. And I want you to eventually get like that too, where you can just look at something and feel it. But the recipe online is exacting, and it'll be perfect for you. So I'm gonna add a little more oil and a little more vinegar because I want it to be a little more saucier. And let's add some vinegar. You don't have to add too much vinegar because the capers and the cornichons have vinegar, that vinegar profile. Okay, plenty of pepper. I said plenty, right? Taste. Done. Doesn't need anything. Perfect. It's rich and light at the same time. It has that the richness of the eggs, the vinegary, the cornichon, the capers, all those herbs. Here comes the tarragon. Boom. Taste the tarragon. It's really a sensational sauce that again goes with, you can serve with chicken, boiled meats, ham, put on a sandwich. Really a terrific versatile sauce. We're gonna put on asparagus right now though. Hey, let's plate up. All right, I'm gonna put 4 down. Kind of, what is that, 1 o'clock? 4 down, 11 o'clock. See how they're nicely trim and they're same size? Makes for a nicer presentation. All right, let's go to sauce. Give it a good whisk it up because the vinegar drops down the bottom. So this is, I'm considering this a vinaigrette, and I'm going to put it right in the middle. Now at my restaurants I have what they sorrel leaves, red vein sorrel leaves. These are some radish sprouts. This will add a little sharpness to it. And color, although I don't do anything with color, but this actually adds a little color to it, but I'm not doing it for color. And there you have it. Nothing screams spring like asparagus. And morels and peas and a few fava beans, a few other ingredients, but asparagus comes to mind right away. Now, I get to try it. I'm sorry you're not here, but I'm gonna try this and I will let you know how it tastes. I know it's gonna be great. So, in my restaurant, by the way, I would put some caviar on top. Smoked trout caviar, and then we kind of like amp it up a bit and make it more of a a restaurant chefy dish. But this, by any bistro, any really good restaurants, you would find this on the menu as well. All right. Whoa, man, it's like fireworks going off in my mouth. Really, what a combination. You get the capers, cornichons, the richness of the egg, vinegar, the herbs. Boom, here comes the tarragon. And then, wait, what's that? What is that? The je ne sais quoi. Something's just like yummy. Oh, it's the anchovies. It's that umami anchovy in there. I'm telling you, you gotta. Put the anchovies in. Man, you have to try this. Asparagus with sauce grabiche. It is sensational. If you like this video, you learned something, you know what to do. Come on, subscribe, send it to a friend, and whatever else we do. Let's get this channel rocking.